Hi, welcome to my first devlog of Stranded Simon, a 2D RPG where you play as Simon, this little guy who's stranded on a big island and has to survive through waves of monsters and build his own world. I just now realize it's the same story as Jonathan Swift's Robinson Crusoe. However, the game is still far from finished and I want to keep this devlog for personal use, but I'd be grateful if people actually enjoyed this content and perhaps gave me some feedback. Today I'm adding the first enemies to my game, and the first one will be the most classic RPG enemy. That's the slime. Here's a time-lapse of the sprite creation. I was able to add it to the game, but I'm not very familiar with enemy behaviors, so it's acting a little sus. After writing some code to change in between states, the slime can now idle and stay in place, wander to seek the player, and chase after the player once it enters his area of sight. But there's still one thing that hurts my brain: stupid enemies. I don't want my game to be one of those where you can place a wall, camp behind it, and win. That's why I want to make good and specific AI for the enemies. For example, I want the slime to be able to avoid the blocks the player places, so I started experimenting. My first approach was to detect if there's an obstacle on the slime's way to the player, and if there is, check where it is and move randomly to avoid it. But I pretty much just wrote spaghetti code and made a mess of an AI. As you can see from this time-lapse, the pathfinding was beyond inefficiency. However, I reprogrammed the way it detects obstacles, so that it can return exactly where the obstacles are, and so the slime can move accordingly, and if he can, reach the player and attack. I sacrificed some efficiency for adaptability here, because I could make him find the shortest way to the player, but if I placed some block differently, he could get stuck. The second enemy for now will be the skeleton, which is basically like the player, but a little more spooky. The skeleton will be stronger than the slime and will break through the wood planks that the player places. Given this ability, we can ditch all the complicated pathfinding AI the slime had. I may reuse that code for a future enemy. As you can see, skeletons can wield weapons, but for now they either have no weapon or have a sword, which they sometimes drop. And after killing some of them, I finally found one that drops the sword, but got killed by two skeletons with simple melee attacks. So yeah, now you got the sword and it's just as you would expect. It does more damage, and what does it have to do? It's a sharp metal rod. Anyway, that's it for today. It's just the beginning of a big journey and I hope you'll follow me. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next devlog. Goodbye.